Colorado's Endangered Places program is preserving our valuable land for the future to enjoy. Kim Grant, the director of the Most Endangered Places program, has more.
Kim, welcome to Colorado & Company. It's so great to have you here virtually, of course. I want to start off by asking you, what is Colorado's Most Endangered Places list? Because, some people at home just might not be aware.
Well, the Most Endangered Places list is an annual list that we create each year to begin working with historic sites and resources all across Colorado. It's a program that began back in 1998, and we take nominations from the general public, and then we review the sites and make a determination of which ones to list each year so that we can begin working with these communities to try to save them.
Definitely. So I'm sure plenty of people at home are hoping that they can save a lot of the places that they love and cherish too. So what sites were named in the 2021 Most Endangered Places list?
Well, the three newly listed sites are the Historic Bridges of Colorado, which is actually a multiple listing of up to 20 possible bridges for preservation that we're working on with CDOT. And then the second listing is the Lafayette Head House and Ute Indian Agency down in Conejos, the town of Conejos. And then the third listing is the Winter Park Balcony House, which is a mid-century modern ski resort property.
Okay, yes, I'm actually familiar with the Balcony House. That's one that is near and dear to my heart too. So were any sites named as saved sites this year too?
Yes, we had two of them. The Goodnight Barn in Pueblo that was at the head of the Goodnight Loving Trail back in around 1880. And it's a fantastic, beautiful old stone barn, probably one of the more architecturally significant agricultural resources in Colorado. And then the other save this year was the Gold Medal Orchard, which is so named because they won 4 gold medals at the 1904 World's Fair. And it's what's called a cultural landscape.
Wow. Okay, great. Well, it's good to know that a couple of those have been taken off the list. That's fantastic. So what kinds of sites have been listed in the past? Is it usually sites just like this, or have they, kind of varied a little bit?
Well, we try to get a broad geographic range as well as a variety of types. So we have everything from agricultural, from mining resources, commercial, industrial buildings, schools, churches, ditches, flumes, orchards, which I mentioned, a little bit of everything throughout Colorado. So we now have 130 sites on the list, 52 of which have been considered saved, and 47 are in progress where we're actually making some significant progress to try to save them. And then 24 are on alert status, and then we've only lost 7 in 24 years.
Okay, well, 7 in 24 years is not that bad. That's great to know that, there's
good track record.
Yeah, definitely a good track record. So why is this so important? Like I said, some of these sites are so significant to a lot of the people that, live and have even grown up in Colorado. Why do you think this is just such an important thing to be doing?
Well, first of all, people have really powerful connections to these places. And, we live in a world that's increasingly homogenized and globalized, and a lot of stuff just gets torn down and, with hardly an afterthought. But because people are connected to these places, we believe in building a future with historic places and trying to save a good representative example of these kinds of sites across Colorado. It's just, there are lots of important lessons to be learned from the past.
Yes, I completely agree. So in terms of the saved sites, are there a few that are just really notable that people would recognize if you told us?
Probably the most recognizable would be the Colorado Capitol Dome, the gold dome on the state Capitol building, which actually was listed on the Endangered Places list several years ago. There's lots of them around Colorado. Chimney Rock down in southwestern Colorado is also a very recognizable physical landmark that's been saved. And some of the bridges across Colorado are things that people maybe just drive by, but they take a closer look at them and they'll see the really, truly remarkable structures like the Cherry Creek Bridge over Castlewood Canyon State Park, for example.
Yes, definitely. Okay. Well, how can our viewers get involved, especially if there's maybe one on the list that they heard you mention today that they really, really want to make sure is saved?
They can call me, they can check out our website and email me. And we also have a weekend workshop that we do every year where volunteers can come and get some hands-on preservation experience. And no experience is necessary to help out. And we'll get our hands dirty and we'll teach you some preservation techniques and work to improve one of these sites.
Excellent. Well, Kim, thank you so much for everything you guys do to make sure that those, landmarks and locations that are near and dear to us here in Colorado are still around for generations to come. We appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you for having me.
Learn more about Colorado's most endangered places or get involved with Colorado Preservation, Inc. by heading to coloradopreservation.org.